Commission, one in law and order, one in police administration, and the question of constitutional reform, question of election procedure reforms, and so on. So there are 15 of them. They're reporting back with the suggestions, their recommendations, what needs to be done. So now we have what we call consensus building commission, so that we go to the political parties and so on, see which of the recommendations all agree, so that we take that as a charter and then implement that and hold an election. Election will be held as early as probably December of this year.
Any intention to continue in a leadership position through those elections and beyond? You were called back for this. You said it wasn't a role that you were looking at.
I still not the one to look at. I made it very clear. When my job is done, hand over the responsibility to the elected government, I go back to what I enjoy doing most, and this is what I've dedicated my life. I want to continue with that.
Can you just explain the main economic challenges that Bangladesh faces at present? What have you identified? And you've talked about the progress, not least in announcing plans for elections to be held in late 2025 or early 2026. What are the sort of fundamental issues that you need to work on with regard to the economy?
When you have an earthquake, everything falls apart, everything gone. So after the earthquake, you try to take brick by brick, build it again. This is our situation. The economy, society, administration, everything fell apart. So our job is to rebuild piece by piece. To give an example, the banking system. Banking system was kind of completely collapsed. $16 billion were taken away from the banking system. Stolen from the banking system. And in total, there are $17 billion per year, which was shifted away from Bangladesh by over-invoicing, under-invoicing, all kinds of corrupt practices and so on. So the banking system is on the verge of collapse, our economy is on the verge of collapse, and we have to rebuild those things. Our international reserve situation fell to the deepest point. So we have to rebuild that on the economic side. And people have to continue with life so they can survive with that. So economy is number one, law and order is another one, and then build the institutions, schooling, education, and everything else.
It's an exhaustive process. You also placed in what was your inaugural address to investigate alleged human rights violations, enforce disappearances from the prior regime. You've also called for the extradition of Sheikh Hasina. What progress has been made in these investigations? Has India responded to your request for extradition? And what are you doing to address the need for national reconciliation amongst the people while ensuring justice for victims?
One, I'm very happy, feel very relieved that the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights published just a report on Bangladesh, documenting everything I just said about the killing, about the disappearance of people, torture chambers, how students were shot by the police and army under the order of the Prime Minister. So they